Hi, welcome back. Let's talk about self-discipline. This has been a very popular topic that's almost on everyone's channel for a long time. If we go on our social media right now, we would probably run into at least a dozen of videos that's titled My Day of Self-Discipline, or what my day it's like as a very well-disciplined person, something like that. And every time when you click on the video, it's almost always the same kind of pattern. It would start very early in the morning, 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning. And the person in the video would start with some exercise, who doesn't want to look healthy and fit. And then you almost always see people study English as well in the morning. Like, what's with that? Why do you have to include English learning as part of your disciplined day? And if you look closely enough, you will see that everything they're doing is almost always looking at a vocabulary book or going on their iPad and pretend to underline or highlight certain things. And even though the video says, half an hour or an hour has passed, they look like they're still doing the exact same thing. The truth about these videos is that usually they are made over the span of quite a few days. And that's why in these videos, usually the content creator doesn't want to show anything that specifies the time of the day so that you wouldn't easily find out that, a lot of things that happen in the video were actually fake or were actually not happening within the same day. So I have gotten to a point that whenever I see a video like that, I get really pissed off, to be honest. The most important reason is that I think those videos are sending a wrong message. First of all, just because the video is made so doesn't mean that particular person indeed had a day like that. Like I said, a lot of those videos were made with clips that they have taken over a span of quite a few days. So it's not like they actually got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, did exercise, learned English, did other interesting, fun things, and then concluded their day like that. No. To make a video like that, they did all those things over the course of quite a few days and then try to cram everything into the happenings of one day to make it look interesting. And second of all, even if that is indeed how the day was for that person, it doesn't mean that their days are like that every single day. But when you capture your day, casually like that, you're kind of sending the message to all your viewers that, hey, look at me. I'm so healthy. I'm so self-disciplined. This is how my day is like most of the time. Look at how productive I am. Look at how smart I am. Look at how organized I am with my time. I'm able to do so many things within one day by getting up really early and staying really disciplined. What about you? You obviously are not doing the same thing. You get these wrong ideas in your head. And then that's when we start to feel anxious because we look at that and then we think about ourselves. We're like, shit, no wonder we're not moving anywhere. No wonder we suck. No wonder we're stuck. We're not making any progress. No wonder I can't learn my English well. I never got up early to learn English. So that's the kind of idea a lot of us get from watching these videos. Maybe part of us wondered if everything in the video was actually accurate or was true, or was realistic. Still, we get this overwhelming sense of anxiety or frustration from comparing ourselves to the people in the videos. I want to go back to the point that I mentioned a while ago in one of my videos. Be aware of what you're watching. Be aware of the information that you receive from internet. A lot of those times, you're not getting the information for free. You're not watching the video for free, The biggest incentive I find with these vlogs about day of self-discipline is to sell you stuff because they are going to use these fancy glasses or other little things, knickknacks that they're using throughout the day. And as viewers, when we see the video, we're like, okay, maybe I'm not able to do what this person does, getting up so early and being so productive, but I could get some similar products that person is using. Maybe that's how I will become more motivated. Maybe that's how I will become more like them. To me, that's the whole point of social media. I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people saying this, but I am just so sick and tired of seeing posts or videos that are titled to be about something that's very positive, something that could be very informative or educational, but instead turn out to be a complete 20 minutes of ads. And the thing is, we're always sucked into it. And I can assure you that is not discipline. There is not a single format of what discipline should be like. For me personally, you don't have to get up early in the morning to learn English. Anytime you can find during the day, anytime at all, as long as you can keep at it consistently. So it really depends on the schedule that you're on right now, how much work you have to do, how much study you have to do, the kind of environment you're in. Maybe you're just it's not possible or is not the best idea for you to get up that early. Maybe you're living with someone else. You're in college, or you have a roommate. It's just rude for you to get up and disturb other people. That doesn't mean you're not self-disciplined. Or just because you don't choose to do your exercise in the morning, or you don't plan your day as productively as the video show, it doesn't mean that you're not disciplined. And also, nobody can live their day exactly like that every single day. Can you imagine how much time you would have wasted, trying to set up a camera like that, trying to go through these motions of just simply doing these things because you want to show that you do them. You want to show that you have taste. You want to show that you are, a fancy girl who lives in this well-decorated apartment with absolutely no worry about anything whatsoever. That's not the reality. And that's not how we want to live our life. We have our own choices. And it just bothers me so much that a lot of the videos like this are actually followed by a lot of viewers. Obviously, if this video is watched by a lot of people, there must be something in it that people enjoy watching. And I feel like for myself, once again, I've gotten to a point where I've had enough of stuff like this. And I hate to see it, especially when people start to involve English learning into videos like this. Just cut it out. You're not learning English. You're still on the exact same page on your vocabulary book every time when you make that video. And stop telling people that that's what you should do when you want to improve your English. That's not. English is so much more than that. I've also seen vloggers like this include studying for IELTS in their videos. And usually is these, girls of taste or sophisticated ladies or, refined ladies. How their days are like. Again, who would study IELTS for fun? You either have to apply for a university or study permit, or you're thinking about starting your career in an English-speaking country and you have to pass the test in order to get your visa. I can't imagine anybody just want to take the IELTS test for fun. First of all, that's not English. Just because you get high score doesn't mean that you can speak good English. Second of all, that's a total waste of money and resource. If you want to improve your English, there's so many things you can learn. There are so many things you can practice. And another thing I find we don't really think about is when we really look at these people's days. If you think about the things that they do throughout the day, you would realize that instead of actually doing things that create some meanings, that actually benefit them because they have a bigger plan, a long-term plan, they're mostly just doing them to check off a box. I need to have these things on my to-do list so that I would look like a very disciplined person. Again, that's one of the biggest misconceptions about self-discipline. Self-discipline means that you have a plan in mind for something and you would stick to that plan until you reach the goal. That's at least my understanding of it. So it doesn't matter when you do it, doesn't matter how you do it. There's not a set format for you to call yourself a disciplined person. It's more about your attitude. It's more about the way you approach your goals. Or to form those habits. That's right. Discipline is about forming good habits. So there's no way that these vloggers are able to capture their self-discipline by recording a simple day in their life. And we do not have to compare ourselves to them. There's no point. You don't have to feel frustrated when something is preventing you from getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and you don't have to be upset if you have to stay up at night because of your job or your family, because a productive day looks very different for everyone. And our personality sometimes comes into play as well when we look at the same project, same task, how much time we want to invest in it. Once again, there's not a single perfect answer for what a disciplined person should look like. There is not. I think it's more in our mentality. It's more in our attitude. As long as we're trying to do our best with the time and resource that we have to make the best efforts. I think that's the very definition of being self-disciplined. We try our best. We try to stick with our plans. Does that mean that we cannot miss a day? Does that mean that we are losers or we seriously lack self-discipline if we miss a day? No, we're not robots. We can't just simply follow a rule and do exactly that. We have to be flexible for changes, and that will happen. But the best thing about actually being a disciplined person is that no matter what your circumstances change, you always figure out a way to make it work. And you always put yourself first. You don't try to sabotage your own health, or you don't try to keep up with the Joneses to have all the fancy gadgets just so that you can have a whole setup that makes you look like a disciplined person. It's not about that. It's about what you do with what you have and how you keep at it.